You see, we all been taught this hood way like it's the way we supposed to live. Like we supposed to ignore the rich way and skip to the hood way. Well, fuck the hood way, I want the rich way. The hood way or the rich way. You want the hood way or the rich way. You want the hood way or the rich way. Hood way or the rich way. The hood way noodles, that's cool and all. Rich way got the steaks, I want the steaks and all. Hood way or the rich way. Hood way driving buckets.
The show about to start. Get your water ready. Tighten up.
Easy to pick. I want the rich. Fuck the hood way. I want the rich. I want the
It's your boy Prezi, President of the Talent Group is the label. Here we are with another episode of Bar Talk from the crib. I already done poured that water up. You know you gotta get that water right. Pour that water up in there. Yeah, I poured it up before the camera came on, but you know I gotta let y'all know that we drinking water and nothing else. You know, double shot up in that. Episode 65. I thank y'all for being here. I thank God for waking me up, allowing me to see another day, and allowing y'all to wake up to be here. Episode 65, which means we supposed to be 65 days in, but we 4 episodes behind. Ooh-wee! Sometimes you got to recharge. Sometimes you got to sit on the bench. Sometimes when you're not getting stuff done, it's not because you're not getting stuff done. It's because you're getting stuff done. Other stuff done in a different strategic way. Which brings me to today's episode. I'm behind 4 episodes. So we might drop a 4-piece. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Back to backer. But that brings today's episode. You're on the bench for a reason. So I'm 4 episodes behind, but I was regurgitating information. I was studying new information. I was doing a lot of stuff, taking stuff in, recharging. And that's what brought us to today's episode. You're on the bench for a reason. Sometimes you got to sit on the bench for a reason. They like to put this player in and put that player. They like to move stuff around. Look, let's look this up. Let's look this up real quick. Okay, on the bench. How's everybody doing out there today, though? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's see what this says. Ooh, let's see. Why do players sit on the bench sometimes? Let's see what it says. Players are benched for a variety of reasons. It's including rest, performance issues, strategic changes. Oh, did I just say that? Or to give other players opportunities. Sometimes, player, I'm sitting back to give you an opportunity to shoot a layup because I can't take all the points all the time. Sometimes you got to give other people time to shine. Coaches may bench players to manage fatigue. Sometimes you're going too much, you got a little fatigue, and you got to just address the situation a little bit. Okay, address slumps or implement tactical adjustments on game situations or opponent strategies. Sometimes you on the bench, not because you're weak, but because this player is better than what that player. Your skill is a 3. We're not even throwing threes right now. Put Kobe on the bench. Put Michael Jordan on the bench. Put LeBron James on the bench. Let them conserve their energy right now, okay? Benches are also served as places for players to learn, develop, and support their teammates. Ooh, wait, did you hear what that said? Oh, the benches are also served as a place for players to learn. Didn't I say I was regurgitating information, learning and doing that? Serve as a place for learn, develop, and support their teammates. So you're developing yourself on that bench. You helping your teammates because you're giving them an opportunity to shine. Okay, here's more detailed breakdown. 1, rest and recovery. Sometimes you need to hit the bench for that. Performance and strategy, team dynamics and development. And there's other factors. Okay, so I just wanted to pull that up so you can see being on the bench ain't always wrong. Okay, so we're going to go up into the episode 65. You're on the bench for a reason. So while I'm 4 episodes behind, maybe you need to go sit on the bench. Maybe to let somebody else shine. Maybe so that you can learn. Maybe so that you can recover your fatigue. Okay, so I'm going to give you 10 life principles and the why. Principle 1, rest to recharge. Why? Rest isn't laziness. It's recovery. The mind and body need downtime to repair, process, and gain clarity for the next move. Now, some of y'all get resting like, oh, you resting for days at a time and you ain't getting nothing done, all that. That ain't the resting we talking about, okay? We talk about when you Floyd Mayweather, when you LeBron James, when you actually working, now you deserve some rest. So first do something to deserve the rest. Some of y'all resting for no goddamn reason, okay? So rest isn't laziness. It's recovery when you're resting the right way. You're using this to recover. You're thinking, you're using this to write in your journal, to write your goals down. It's what you're doing in your rest period, okay? How? It helps you to pause. It helps you to pause. You prevent burnout, rebuild energy, and return with sharper focus and better decisions. When you take a rest, you're sharper. When you tired, it's worse than being drunk. Ooh-wee. 2, observe before acting. Why? On the bench, you can watch, learn. On the bench, you can watch, learn, and understand the terrain. Rush moves are prone to errors. When you rushing and doing all this, you done tripped and fell because you ain't even watching the terrain. Take your goddamn time. Observe before acting. Treat this like the military. You don't just go in there. You can get shot in the head. You need to observe the situation. Why is that? On the bench, you can watch, learn, and understand the terrain. Rush moves are prone to errors. How? It helps you gain information, spot patterns, and choose smarter strategies rather than just faster ones. It's not always about how fast you can get somewhere. The fastest way there might be the dangerous way there. You want to see the most strategic, smartest, safest way to do something, okay? Principle number 3, grow off stage. Why? Growth happens behind the scenes. Practice, study, reflection, and skill building that isn't in the spotlight. I'm on here giving y'all the game. Yeah, a lot of the growth could happen here, but a lot of the growth happens off of here. When I'm studying off of here, when I'm writing this stuff down and what to say is where the growth's happening. So right here ain't where the growth's happening. The growth's happening behind closed doors when the lights go off. As you practicing what you preach, as you really are praying to God, as you really doing what you're supposed to be doing. How? It helps you develop durable strengths that can carry you through moments when you are back in the game. You need to be on the bench to focus on the game. So when you back in the game, you can move strategic. Okay. 4, respect the pace of your journey. Why? Every path is tempo. Forcing speed can derail the progress. When you go on a marathon, you don't run the fastest that you can. You pace yourself. You find that perfect tempo for you where you want to get there strategically. Okay. Forcing the speed, it's just going to just drain you to fatigue instantly. You're going to be hitting the bench way more than you should be because you're not strategically doing it right. Okay. How? It helps you to align your efforts with your authentic pace, reducing frustration and increasing sustainable progress. Okay. Principle. Okay. Number 5, build a strong foundation. Why? A solid base, habits, routines, mindset supports everything you do when the action picks up. Okay. Your strong foundation. Who's your woman? Who's your man? Who's your friends? Who's your surrounding? Who's your support system? That's who your foundation is. That's what you want to focus on. Okay. How it helps. You're steadier under pressure and recover faster from setbacks because your foundation is strong. So you founded it in. So when a storm came, it can't really blow your house down because your foundation is strong. Okay. 6, reset is a form of preparation. Okay. So when you're resetting, you preparing for something. Okay. So when you on that bench, Kobe know what's about to happen when he get off that bench. Michael Jordan knew what was about to happen when he got off that bench. He's preparing for what's about to happen in this next quarter. How it helps. When you're ready to re-enter, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from strength. So while you've been on that bench and everybody else is still fatigued out, you sitting there strategically getting ready. And when you hit the boom, it's over. Okay. 7, reframe setbacks as feedback. Failure is success. When you are set back, analyze the situation, see where you went wrong, and see where that can never happen to you again. How does that help? You address strategies, avoid repeating mistakes, and move forward with wiser choices. That's what I just said. Analyze, see how it can never happen again. Okay. 8, cultivate patience. Why? Patience isn't passivity, it's disciplined timing. Some wins come later, but they're often the most lasting. Okay. The later wins is the most lasting ones. You might be losing now. Failure is success. Wait till I succeed. Because I strategically sat on that bench. I strategically seen where I messed up at life. And I strategically seen I kept making these wrong mistakes. And when I get off this bench, I'm going to go running and I'm never going to make those mistakes again. How does that help? You avoid chasing hollow victories and keep your energy for meaningful goals. Meaning that, I'm going on the bench because I'm not even shooting right now. I'm the all-star player. I'm not running up and down the court for no reason. I'm on the bench to conserve my strength. Let me know when it's shooting time again. Ooh, Number 9, nurture relationships off the field. Why? Supportive teammates, mentors, and loved ones sustain you during long seasons. How it helps. You gain encouragement, accountability, and new perspective that accelerate growth when you re-enter the game. 10, plan your return with intent. So when you're on that bench, you're not just sitting there asleep. You planning on what you're going to be doing when we get out on that field. Why? The bench is a strategic interval, not a pause of purpose. You prepare for a cleaner, stronger comeback. You sitting there for a purpose of knowing what's going to happen. I got to get some energy down like you in a fight. And you're like, let me take a quick break. And when I get in, I'm going for the haymaker. Okay? How it helps. You set back with a clear aim and a refined plan and renewed motivation. Episode 65. If you don't learn anything, hopefully you learned that you're on that bench for a reason. Okay? Being on the bench is not a verdict on your worth or potential. It's deliberate, value, part of the journey. A space to rest, learn, and prepare for a better return. Rest is not quitting. It's resetting your time on the bench. It's resetting. Your time on the bench has a purpose to replenish your energy, sharpen your vision, and come back and play at a higher level. You're not sidelined forever. You're being readied for a stronger, wiser sequence of actions. Embrace the bench. It's where greatness often recharges. So episode 65, where I'm 4 episodes behind, so I'm going to drop a 4-piece. I've been on the bench recharging, situating my mind, regurgitating information, seeing what I can do differently. Episode 65, you may have some fatigue. You may need that bench. You may need to let your other teammates shine for a while. Don't be ashamed to get on that bench. You the all-star player. You got to you got to do everything, but sometimes you got to sit back and relax. It's a teammate that's supposed to be able to do what you can do when you're not on the field. Episode 65. Bar talk from the crib, and we will be right back with episode 66. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Prezi. Ooh-wee.